Howdy folks, Greyhawk 4x4 coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer. And today's video is a message to all of the content creators out there that make video games and movies and TV shows and comic books and all that. This is just a reminder, a friendly reminder from your vintage gamer here, that if you listen to us, we will tell you what we want. So, the reason I'm doing this video is there have been a couple of news stories that have come up that are reinforcing the same motto that I have been operating by for decades. And that is, if the content creators, if the producers and directors of TV shows, movies, whatever, comic books, you name it, if they listen to us, we will always tell them what we want to spend our money on, what we are willing to give them money for, and we do it willingly. When they do something, and I'm wearing this shirt to prove a point. Here is Deadpool, and for years, the industry was saying, no, you can't do a R-rated comic book hero or comic book anti-hero or comic book dark hero, whatever you want to call it, adult content R-rated movie. You can't do it. You know, it won't do well because people they won't take their kids to it. And guess what? The fans said they wanted Deadpool. They wanted a Deadpool movie, and Ryan Reynolds made it happen. And it made a shit ton of money. Case in point. The fans will tell you what they want. So, the most recent story to reinforce this idea is the Jedi Fallen Order. I have to keep looking at my notes here because I don't want to forget anything. Because I know that I will forget something and then I'll go, God damn it, you know. I forgot to say, this or that, because I'm old. So, Jedi Fallen Order. There was a news story that broke last week that they are announcing that it's now a franchise. The success of Jedi Fallen Order has caused EA, and knocked me over with a feather, but EA did something right with Jedi Fallen Order. They let the game developers make the game that they wanted to make, and it was highly successful. And it was a single-player game, which we were all told single-player games are dead. That's what we were told, like, the last few years. They're single-player. It's all going to be multiplayer and games as a service and all that. Not if you do it right. Again, we will tell you what we want. The difficulty level is you got to do it well. That's what it is. Yeah, because we can tell you we want a Deadpool, but if you do a shitty version of Deadpool, no one's going to go see it. Okay? People would have went to go see a good Harley Quinn movie. They didn't make a good Harley Quinn movie. I didn't see it, but everything I've seen, all the reviews and everybody that's talked about it, said it wasn't a good movie, and so people didn't go see it. Word of mouth wasn't good, so a lot of people didn't go see it. So it all leads into this, and I don't want to harp too much on the whole woke, and I hate that term, the whole woke mentality, and of course then you have get woke, go broke, that meme. And there seems to be some truth to the meme that if they're making something specifically to virtue signal or identity politics or anything like that, that people tend to avoid it just because they feel like they're being preached to rather than being entertained. So we have Jedi Fallen Order. These are just the recent instances. We have Jedi Fallen Order. We have WoW Classic, which that one you could not have a better example. Like years in the future, decades in the future, when they're going to universities to learn about whether it's game development or storytelling or whatever it is, there's going to be professors use the actual footage from that guy at BlizzCon saying, you think you want that, but you don't. And then the very next graphic on the PowerPoint presentation or whatever is going to be the numbers of how successful WoW Classic was, because we knew what we wanted. And he was trying to tell us that we didn't know what we... Of course we know what we want, and we'll tell you with our money. We always do. So, but anyway, yeah, they're going to use that as a teaching moment for years to come. Cyberpunk 2077. That's the actual most recent. So, CD Projekt Red has always given the gamers what they want. They've given their audience what they want. And their games are wildly successful because of that. Cyberpunk 2077. They just announced that, number one, they confirmed there will be no microtransactions in the game. So you're going to have, just like you had with the Witcher series, you're going to have a single-player series and no microtransactions, which is what the gamers asked for. It's what they want, and that's what they're giving us. They're also known for giving you adult content because they know that the majority of their audience that pays their hard-earned money for their products are adults. And so they make it for adults. They have romances in it. They have nudity. They have sex scenes. They have adult language. They have gore and blood. They have all the things that adults want to see and experience in a video game, because we're living vicariously through these characters. Okay? So we want to experience all those cool things in the video game. That's the fun for adults that play the games. And they know that their target audience is mostly adults. Or young adults who have their parents' permission, who are going to buy it even without their parents' permission. But that becomes an issue with that family that they have to resolve within themselves. CD Projekt Red is not trying to referee that. So, as a result, they're giving so much flexibility within the game with character creation that they're even allowing people during character creation to modify and customize their genitals. Why not? If that's what somebody wants to do, I mean, I don't know how much time I would put into that actual aspect of it. I'm playing Fallout 76 right now, and I realized that when you're in power armor, people can't see anything. Your body, they can't see your face, they can't see, So I'm like, well, how much time of this am I going to put in? But there are people out there who that are very much interested in customizing their character down to the last hair strand. And so if they want to customize their junk, let them do it. Why not have that feature in there? It doesn't mean that everybody has to use that feature, but have it there for those that do. Why not have it, And so I applaud CD Projekt Red because they're giving gamers what they want. And they're going to make a shit ton of money on Cyberpunk 2077. It's going to, yeah. So, anyway. And part of it is when we talk about this get woke, go broke thing, you have an example like the new Star Wars series that they've announced with the female director who got up and did a press conference with a bunch of people, and it was all women up there, which nothing wrong with that. I like women, no problem. But they did a full press conference about this series that they're going to be working on, and they didn't talk about the story. They didn't talk about what it's going to be about. They just wanted to make sure and say it's going to be female-centric. And it's like, why do you have to announce that? Why can't you just say, we're making a new Star Wars story. It's going to be based upon this and this and this in the history, in the canon of the franchise, whatever, and then make it, and then we all discover it. And if it's good, let's go back to that again. If it's good, halfway through we might go, hey, it's only women so far that we've seen. There haven't been any men. Oh, well, that's what we would do. We'd be like, us, speaking as a man, I would go, yeah, I haven't seen it. Oh, well, I'm enjoying it. I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter to me, but we're gonna keep on. The comic book industry is a whole different thing. They're apparently trying so hard to virtue signal and be woke and all that stuff that it's destroying the whole industry. There's plenty of videos out there. Heel versus Babyface is somebody that I follow very closely, and he's very passionate about that. So feel free to go watch his videos about that, because he'll give you a lot more information than I will. But apparently it falls into that. And I don't feel that when they have to say, female-centric this or whatever, it's like, you don't need to do that, because we have examples of strong female characters in video games and franchises where they just made the thing and it was successful. I have one called, this goes back, No One Lives Forever. And the main character's name was Kate Archer. Now, I'm not seeing Kate Archer's name on here anywhere. I just dug this out of my archives. But I remember that name because the games were so good. And when I say games, it's because they did a sequel. The games were so good, so well done, that I remembered the character's first and last name, Kate Archer. Right there, Agent Kate Archer. And these are set in the 60s campy James Bond type secret agent, with all the gadgets and all that stuff. That's what the setting was for these. And they're fantastic. And as a matter of fact, just because I want to know now, I am going to look up and see, if you will indulge me, I want to see how well these games did. Okay, No One Lives Forever. It's called The Operative. No One Lives Forever. I guess that is... Yeah, this one was No One Lives Forever 2, A Spy in Harm's Way, but the first one was called The Operative, No One Lives Forever. And I'm just trying to see if there's any... after receiving several Game of the Year awards in the press, a special Game of the Year edition was released in 2001, and it had an additional mission. So, yes, it received several awards for Game of the Year back then, and of course it sold very well. I can't find any, I'm not going to drag that out and try and find a lot of statistics or whatever, but nevertheless it was a very popular game. And when they made it, they just released it, and everybody said, hey, this is this is a fun game. Who cares if you're playing a man or a woman? It doesn't matter. It was a blast. Of course, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, is one of the best game franchises or most successful game franchises of all time. More recently, you have HalfLife Alyx, which is based on the female character from Half-Life 2, episodes 1 and 2. I believe she was in both of them. And the reason that people want Half-Life 3 is not because of Gordon Freeman. It was because of how they left off Alyx's storyline and how much they liked the character Alyx. And what did Valve do? They made a whole game called Alyx, and they released it on VR only. Now, I think that's a whole different issue. I think that's a mistake. I don't have VR. I don't know that I have vertigo, so I don't know that I would enjoy VR. I'm willing to try it at some point, but I would love if they would have released it on both, for VR and for just regular PC gaming. And they might still do that. But that's why it's so successful, is because people wanted Half-Life 3 so bad because of the Alex character. Female character. And she wasn't scantily clad, she was just a good, strong character. And we enjoyed her storyline. Anyway, there's other examples, but you get what I'm saying. So, to wrap this whole thing up, I'm going to go back to where I started. We will tell you what we want, and we will willing to pay our good hard-earned money for it, and we'll buy the merchandise, and if you make movies based on it, we'll go see the movies if they're good. You just, developers, directors, writers, whoever, you just got to listen. And I know that that's not popular right now because everybody wants to do the PC thing and the woke thing and all this. But you have all these examples here of us telling you what we want, and when you give it to us, we spend our hard-earned money, and you can be successful. You can be profitable. There's a lot of those movies out there where they probably lost money because they didn't give the audience what they wanted. So, anyway, guys, we will catch you on the flip side.